The following is a Podbeard production. Explosions make things sound cooler. Anyway,
Vengeance initiated.
Don't you bro no more.
In a world where two ordinary gamers team up to fight the forces of boredom, this is their podcast, and this is their story.
Good evening. On behalf of all podcasters, I would like to formally apologize for the complete lack of disrespect. No, wait, sorry. The disrespect. There was no lack of it. My apologies. On last week's podcast, I literally could not be more mortified to learn of how much I cazzed off all over our podcast last week. I cazzed all over it. My humble apologies to all who listened, including my most humble apologies to Mr. Hodder himself, whose podcast I completely, as he quote unquote said, shit all over, among many other viewers. We had the lowest ratings on our podcast ever. In fact, we only had one half listen, and that was me. So, without further ado, I hope you can understand that I will not be cazzing off. I got my Kaz everywhere. I literally cazzed so hard. The friction of me cazzing off almost started a fire. I cazzed all over TJ's face, and I'm really sorry about that. TJ, do you accept my apology?
Kaz, I accept your apology for cazzing off all of the podcast last week. And you know what's interesting about Kaz is when you Kaz off, the Kaz actually helped my skin a little bit too. So I don't
really?
actually mind. So thank you. It actually helped my beard get a little softer.
That's what my girlfriend said the other day too. She said, you're really good at cazzing. And I said, wait, you watch me Kaz off? Get out of here, you disgusting pervert! Because cazzing off is just literally me cazzing off.
It is a verb.
It's an
adjective.
Verb. Yeah. Why does it sound so dirty, though? I mean, it's not really dirty. It's just me being Cazador Jones.
It's a perfectly natural thing that happens to every Kaz at some point. At some point, Cazador Jones is Kaz off.
Yes.
I appreciate the apology, and I appreciate you sharing that with everybody.
Yeah, but you know it wasn't sincere at all, right?
Oh, I know.
This is just a fucking skit. What's up, everybody?
It's your boys Hodder and Kaz, and you listen to Two Guys in a Game!
Motherfucker edition.
Motherfucker edition. Kaz off edition.
Kaz off edition. It's time for a Kaz off.
Time for a tangent.
In one corner, the Tangent King. In the other corner, some random douchebag named TJ.
It's like Punch Out, but it's Kaz Out. So it's
Kaz Out.
So like
remember how we did that Rick and Morty episode where we Rick and Mortified every video game? Now we're gonna Kazify every video game. No, I'm just joking.
No,
we don't
aren't.
have time for that.
No, we do not have time.
Because we all just wanna be Cazador Jones, Kazzing off all day, Kazzing on our phones. I'm Kazzing in these drugs and I'm Kazzing on this girl right now.
Look at this Kazograph. Every time I do, I Kaz myself.
Why am I Kazzing so much? What the hell is that Kaz over there?
This Kaz is Kazador. That was happening.
Oh my gosh.
We hope you guys are doing awesome. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode. This new I was about to say formatted, but not formatted, but new time. For your same
new time slot, yep.
Yes.
NBC has pushed us to Friday, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, that's usually the sign
show is
that
going
the show
downhill.
is going down.
But you know what? We're coming to our season 2's finale in about a week or two, and we're excited about that. So,
yeah, hopefully there's a cliffhanger.
There will be a cliffhanger. I can assure that. I'm going to go hang off a cliff. There's the cliff, and how do I hang off of it?
How do I get to the cliff and hang off it? It's gonna be like that fucking Half-Life 2 shit, man.
What do you think cut to the chase really means?
I think there's some guy named Chase, and
let's cut to chase, please. Just cut to the goddamn chase, Brenda. I'm trying. I don't know how to work this equipment. Cut to the chase. Or is it the term where it's just like, I want to make a high-speed movie. Okay, cool, let's do it. All right, so now Jackie Chan's walking down the street. Oh, that guy mugged him. Now cut to the chase. Go. Or do you think it's just like some guy who got really bored of watching movies, and he's just like, oh my god, Brenda, you're not sucking my dick hard enough. Cut to the chase. It's the same Brenda from before, by the way.
It's the same Brenda. Oh, God.
Already 3 minutes in, and I've Kaz'd all over this podcast. So, TJ, what's old and exciting with you?
Well, as far as being old and exciting, that's me. So actually, a fun fact. Today, as this episode drops, well, actually, technically it's not today, but you know what I mean. As this episode drops, it's actually my birthday today. And I'm not 27.
Oh.
And I hope that I got...
If you're fishing for a happy birthday, you're not getting one.
I'm not fishing for one.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, you motherfucker. And you smell like one, too.
How's a motherfucker smell like?
I imagine okay.
I imagine it would be all right. No, but so as you guys are listening to this, I'm probably currently at work. But if you guys listen to this after 3 o'clock, I'm currently sitting on my couch playing video games, hopefully.
Drinking beer.
And drinking beer.
Or Zambuca.
Probably not Zambuca, but definitely beer. And I'm definitely
drinking Zambuca because his boy Kaz is getting him a bottle of Zambuca. But don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. But no, definitely playing some fucking Mario Kart right now with my friends, probably, as you guys are listening to this. Unfortunately, Kazeth has to work. But,
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, man.
N64.
And also,
N64, N63 plus, and one more.
Also, most likely going to be also playing some of that. You ever play those Jackbox games? You know those games that are they're like...
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Gonna be playing the shit out of that, too.
Of course you are.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Suck ass. You're gonna play the dumbest fucking video games ever invented. Board games on a video game.
Board games on a video game?
Board games on video games! Did you hear that, Crow?
Board games on video games?
We're not really bringing that
Board
back,
games
are
on
we?
video games?
Oh, we are bringing that back. Okay.
Board games on video games!
Did you hear that, Morty? They've got this new video game. It's like a board game in a video game, Morty. Holy shit, Rick! Oh my god, Bird Person, did you hear that? Wow. Board games on a video game. In bird culture, we call that ecstatic. Did you hear about that, Squanchy? Yeah! Squanching video games and board games? Wow! I'm gonna squanch the squanch out of that!
And this is Gene Simmons from KISS. And I'm coming to you with an exclusive announcement. Board games on video games.
Boo! Disqualified! There's
one
one every...
There's one every tangent.
There's one every tangent. That's the worst, TJ. I can't believe you're one of those. But you know what? I guess when you're in a loving, coupley, mushy-gushy relationship, you have to have a game like that. It's just how it works. Especially, and when you have a family, it's going to be... Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You're in a mushy-gushy relationship.
Because I have friends.
And shut the fuck up, TJ. Sometimes I have friends too. I just don't respond to them on my phone.
I know.
I'm busy, okay? I need my alone time. I go to work. I come home. I'm alone. If someone knocks on my door going, "Hey, Zach, we got pizza," go the fuck away. If I want a pizza, I would have ordered my own goddamn pizza, okay? Cazador Jones wants alone time. But he also wants to be in a happy monogamous relationship, and he can't have both, so I got to pick one, and I pick alone. But if there's any single ladies listening to this, which I know there's not, hit me up.
Hit up Cazador Jones at Cazador
I'll take
Jones.
you on a date. I'll wine and dine you and 69 you. Don't you worry about it. I'm not like that, actually. In real life, I'm actually...
He's actually a perfect gentleman.
This is Kaz, not Zach.
Zach is a couple of person. So speaking about Kaz and Zach being two different people, what is new and exciting in the life of Cazador Jones? That's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Shit.
That was polite.
That was polite.
I'm not arrogant at all.
No.
I am new and exciting is one. I finally got released from rehab.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Congratulations.
I've been demoted from high functioning alcoholic to okay functioning alcoholic now. Actually, wait, that sounds like a demotion. I said demotion. Yes, I did. Okay. So so rehab actually didn't help at all. In fact, it made things worse because a guy just smuggled in booze all the time. So, yeah. So, I'm kidding. Obviously, I actually didn't go to rehab.
I would hope that people would understand that you're joking.
I would hope so, too. There's some people out there that are like, oh, my God. They're listening to that, and they'll hear that, and they'll be like, what the fuck? He was in rehab? I didn't know. Shit. I got to send them a card or something. Get well soon, Hodder and Kaz.
Get well soon, Hodder and Kaz.
Then we get like another random fucking card that comes over, and it just says, congratulations. It's just like, what the fuck? You're congratulating me for my alcohol problem? Fuck you! I'm just joking. No, so new and exciting for real, though. Not much. Just, being myself,
same old, being
just
Kaz.
standing here. This is my package, God delivered it, I signed for it. World keeps on spinning.
You want to talk about what you almost did today? What you were looking at to buy today? I would say you almost did it, but you were seriously considering it. I could tell by the look on your face.
Buying the controllers? Or no, the Sheikah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the Switch, there's this docking charging thing, like a charging dock base, and it was like only $20. It's just the base for it, like for the Switch. So anybody who has a Nintendo Switch, you just like, you know how you drop it in there and you're like, it's supposed to come up on your TV if it's connected up and hooked up. So I was looking at that and I was like, wow, like it was like the Sheikah slate though.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. And they also, it was just like, it glows. Like when you put the Switch in it, it lights up and it looks like a fucking Sheikah slate. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I looked down and they had the Pro controller. They have all the wired Pro controllers out now, which is really good of Nintendo to do that because it's reduced the price of the Pro controller. So now it's like, hey, yeah, it's wired, but at the same time, it's better to have a wired
And
one.
with most people with the Switch, I find that anytime I see someone playing a Switch, they're either using it handheld or they're sitting it right in front of them. Yeah. So I feel like they wouldn't mind it being wired.
And the wired one's good because it's going to be great for Smash. It's cheap. You're going to be able to afford a bunch more. Plus, the batteries aren't going to die on it. Yeah. It's wired. There you go. Problem solved. So you're never going to have to charge a controller. It's the smartest idea. But the nice thing is, we are also getting an adapter for the Switch for the GameCube. And they promised this time, Nintendo's like, we promise this time we're going to make enough for everybody.
We promise.
I mean, nowadays you can get it for the Wii U. No problem. You can just get like, other companies have come out and been like, here's an adapter for it. But I find they don't work as well. So I'm hoping this time I'm going to get my hands on it. I'm probably going to just pre-order it with the friggin' game if it comes in like a bundle, and I'm hoping they release another GameCube controller like the one I have that's at your, I think it's still here.
Yeah,
right?
I still have it. Yeah,
Smash
I literally, we were literally like moving my entire living room around yesterday, and I found the controller, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
So I like set it aside, and like as I'm in the middle of
that was when that came out when the Wii U one came out. They released that
did it?
GameCube controller with it, and what had happened is I had asked my mother to get me a Pro controller for the Wii U, and she got me that instead by accident because that's what she thought I meant. And so
isn't it called like the Pro?
It's actually like it's called like a fight pad. It was designed for Smash, but the reason I wanted it was to play N64 games because the controller I was using was the old Pro controller. Right, and so I was using the reason was I was wanting to play on the Wii Virtual Console. Like I had to use the Wii, the actual Wii, not the Wii U, because most of my games hadn't transferred over to the eShop yet. But they eventually all got transferred over, which I was like, yes. So the Wii U was still great for that. Anyways. Yeah, so she bought that for me by accident. And she's like, oh, I'm really sorry, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Mom, no, you did good.
Moms, you did good.
By the mistake you made by buying this, you did good. And then she turned around like 5 minutes later and she's like, just so you know, I actually just ordered you the actual fight pad on Amazon. It'll be here tomorrow. I was like, oh my God, sweet. So I had this GameCube controller and I was like, perfect. And then my other GameCube controller was shit. Like it was like, you know how the GameCube controllers get the joystick, the rubber piece falls off and then it's just like the plastic and it's like, it sucks for actually gaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what had happened to my other controller. So this was a brand new GameCube controller, an actual Nintendo GameCube controller that wasn't made by a shit company or anything like that. And I was like, oh, perfect. Sweet. So yeah, I was stoked. And I still have it, obviously, and I'm hoping they release another one so I can have two, and then we'll bring my Switch over and kick TJ's ass at Smash again.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about it is like not only does it have, it seems like it's a little bit more of a sturdier control, but it also has a longer cord.
Yeah, they thought about that too.
And I've been using it. You know what I mean? Like that's what happens when you leave shit at my place, man. I just use it. I use those headphones.
Melee's still over here. I forget that I have Super Smash Bros. Melee at the time. I'm looking at my GameCube collection. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing a game. Oh, right, I am, because that asshole TJ used to know. Well, that's because it's the only time I'm going to play Melee is when you're over here. Yeah. So, and Melee is the best Super Smash Brothers to date.
It is.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I think so.
Until Ultimate comes out and fucking blows us all away.
That's going to be
all the characters
sweet,
that are in it. Holy shit.
But speaking about stuff that we're playing, I'm curious what we are playing this week. I mean, I know what I'm playing.
Okay, what are you playing?
Well, me personally,
I prefer the air.
I do. I actually want. I prefer the ground because I want to ask you something about something that I'm thinking is going to happen, but I want to talk about the games we're playing first.
TJ, you know what I heard? That you have Ligma.
Ligma? What the hell is Ligma?
Ligma popsicle, bitch. I got you this popsicle.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kaz. I appreciate that. No, but me personally, it's actually interesting. You know me. I'm not a Pokemon guy. Never have been. But I obviously had played
And
through
then
Pokemon
Kaz
Red.
trailed off and went on a 10. No, I'm just joking.
No, I'm not letting it happen.
I'm just joking.
I'm not letting it happen this way. God damn it! I'm
Yes,
putting my foot
okay.
down.
So yes, I do know you're not a big Pokemon person.
And actually, a fun fact: I found my Game Boy Pocket again yesterday because I keep losing it. Another old Game Boy Pocket I have.
How do you lose a Game
I
Boy
don't know,
Pocket?
man. Because it's so
I know
small.
where all my 3DSs are at all times.
Well, yeah, because you have like 37 of them. So
Oh shit! I actually have to get one of them back from my friend. I
That
forgot
fucker.
No, it's a broken one. It's my first 3DS. It's like the original small one. I have a much better upgraded 3DSs since then.
this is true. I'm gonna have to borrow one from you at some point so I can like play a game.
Careful.
Careful! Don't ask me for games, man. Careful.
You know what, Brian? Maybe you should go out and buy your own 3DS. I don't have money. Oh well, maybe you should go get a job then, you freeloader.
Hashtag Hodder is a freeloader.
No.
No, but so I played Pokemon Red.
Did you enjoy it?
I
you
love
beat it?
Pokemon Red. Oh yeah, I beat it years ago. I beat it like a few times.
What was your starter Pokemon?
Squirtle. Squirtle every time because I love Blastoise. But I don't usually use Squirtle once I start getting some of my other favorite Pokemon, like Hypno. I usually use Hypno a lot.
That's his call. It sounds like the friggin' like the beginning. Yeah, it's something weird.
Something weird like that. Then also,
You know what I always call my Hypnos when I catch them?
Z.
No. Hypno rapist, usually.
Because
Because when he puts them to sleep,
yeah, that's
he
really.
fucks them. No, but that's the thing. They're freaking weird descriptions. If you read the
I know.
descriptions, ugh.
There was
I would not want a Hypno, man.
Shoutouts to I believe it was the episodes 50 live cast of the Hodder show. I think Brandon read a creepypasta based on Hypno. It's really fucked up, dude. It's something about like Hypno stealing children from anyway, I'm getting off topic. So
I don't mean to talk about abducting children.
I don't mean to talk about adopting children here on 2 Guys in a Game. But no, so I ended up playing through Pokemon Crystal.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
I love
which
Crystal.
I was playing.
I had that.
And Crystal's fucking awesome. And I actually
should probably
just beat
keep
it.
playing that again because I have beaten it. I haven't gone. But did you beat it though?
Define beat it.
Did you go over to Kanto
Fuck yeah.
and you looped all the gyms?
Well, no.
Yeah. Okay. So you haven't beaten it.
I beat the Elite
Dude,
Four, though.
the reason why
I thought I was done.
No, the reason why
Shit, I deleted the game.
Gen
I thought I
2
was
is
done.
one of my favorites.
Fuck.
So Gen 2 and Gen 3 go hand in hand, and Gen 4, and they all like have this nice thing. But Gen 2 is probably the most biggest Pokemon game because you get to go back to Kanto. It's identical to Kanto from before, except now this time everything's changed. It's 2 years in the future, right?
Yeah.
So you got to go around. You got to beat all the gyms again, but they're much harder. So Brock isn't like a little wuss with 2 Geodudes and an Onix. Brock has like a fucking slated up team. Misty's got a slated up team, but you have to do all these extra side quests to actually get to the gyms. You can't just walk into them. And so you do all that. You beat the gyms. You get all those. Then they let you into Mount Silver.
Okay.
And Mount Silver is the toughest spot in the game.
That's
highest level Pokemon, and that's where you fight Red from the first game. So your guy character from the first game,
Yeah.
he is up on that mountain, Trainer Red, and you go up and you fight him with his team. And he's the hardest trainer in any video game to fight. There's not a harder trainer in any video game. He is the highest level boss fight in a Pokemon game, and I can attest to that.
So I didn't beat the game then.
I mean, like, I guess if you're
beat
looking
the
at the
Elite Four.
rules of the actual storyline, if you're talking about like Battle Frontier and shit, obviously I know you can fight like people like with level 100 Pokemon, and you can fight people with like different level Pokemon. But I'm talking about like story canon wise, Red
He's
is
the best, yeah.
the top Pokemon trainer, and they even put him back in. Fun fact, not spoiler alert, but it's not really a spoiler alert. They even put him back into, I believe it's, I want to say Sun and Moon, but it could be Ultra Sun and Moon. He is one of the last people you can fight before you go to the Battle Tree, which is in what region?
Which is a tree they do battle
the
at, I'm
Alola
assuming?
region. Yes, it's a battle tree. It's basically where you go to get battle points, so you can
solid
buy
name.
like TMs for your actual competitive battles, and you can choose to either fight blue or red. One of them was just going to challenge you before you go into the battle tree to see if you're ready for it. And I'm like, why wouldn't everybody just pick red? Red's like a freaking classic. Like, but some people would pick blue because blue's team's a little bit more diverse, but red's team's just straight cut. It's Pikachu, it's Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise, and blah blah blah. And it's just
Basically, it's all the starters.
It's all of his basic team from the original game. So red is that's Pokemon Crystal. Sorry to cut you off, but I just wanted to tell you that you're not done, Crystal. Go back and finish.
Yeah. Well, I already deleted the.
How do you live?
I don't know, man. That's I
couldn't live with a Pokemon game that's just on my phone because I need the ability to trade. Because I can trade up from Gen 3 to Gen 7 right now.
Trade.
Huh?
You can trade on an emulator.
Oh, you can?
My man, let me fill you in on
So
this.
why did you
Everybody
delete
listen.
the goddamn game?
Because I didn't know I could trade between Crystal and Emerald.
You can't.
So then that's why I deleted the
You can
game.
You can trade between red and crystal.
Yeah, I know that.
But you can't trade.
But
After Gen 2, there's a cutoff, and then Gen 3 starts, and that's where Gen 3, they completely changed the whole system, the random number generators, and they've gone off of that system since.
Yeah, I've been noticing that's been pissing me off.
And you can actually...
I keep thinking it Pokemon's a certain number, and then it's not.
What do you mean?
You just said it's a random number generators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for, like, how it works. Like, before it was a different system. Like,
I thought you meant like the numbers they were.
No. They're the same numbers in the Pokedex. No.
Oh.
I'm
I
just
thought that
talking
they
about
were
the
different.
system, like, of how, like, the way you encounter Pokemon, the way things are done. And
Oh, I
everything like
follow
that.
you. Okay.
So, yeah, but when you go through that game, they've changed it. So, yeah, I can literally, if I wanted to, I can go get one of my Game Boy Advance games, and it would take a fucking long time. Like, it would take me probably 3 hours, but I could transfer them all the way up to Gen 7. It would fucking take forever.
That's pretty cool.
But
though.
it's interesting how that works. So that's why a lot of people are curious about Let's Go, because they're wondering, I don't think you're going to be able
How
to,
can
but
you
I feel like they
trade?
could just integrate Pokemon Bank. That is their savior system. That's how you transfer between Gen 5, Gen 6, and Gen 7 right
That would be cool if they didn't integrate that. But see, that's my thing is that's why like when I beat quote unquote Crystal, I think I didn't actually beat it, but when I realized that on the emulators I can trade, which is the way they do it's fucking genius too, by the way. And if you guys are listening and you're people who want to play Pokemon on emulators, literally all you have to do is just download. I'm using the it's called My Boy Free or My Old Boy for the Game Boy Color and stuff. You literally go into that. You can have it so that you have quote unquote 2 games running at once locally, and then you just basically do it as you would using 2 different Game Boys.
That's cool.
It's fucking it's such a small little thing.
Yeah.
Because I realized too while I was playing through Crystal that I have a new favorite Pokemon, and it's always basically been a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I just never really used it because for the longest time, Hitmonlee was my favorite. And then I kind of realized Hitmonlee's kind of sort of useless.
Yeah, he's
like
a single
for the
type.
most part, he's
Nobody
kind
uses
of
single
useless.
types
Yeah.
competitively anymore.
He's
so.
kind of useless. So then I used to love my Mankeys and my Primates.
8 bacons. That's what I call them because they're pig monkeys. Get it?
Haha.
Bacon. That's what I always call my Primate.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna let
Actually,
that sit for a minute.
shout outs to David Morrison because he knows if he listens to this, he will understand.
I believe it does once in a while.
Me and him came up with that. I named my Primate because I was like, oh, Primate is actually a pretty good Pokemon. Look at its stats. Look at this stuff.
That's
I
actually
said,
fucking
and I
hilarious.
and I read the description. It's like Mankeys and Primates or Mankeys are pig monkey, and then I watched the episode where Ash catches his Mankey. And he's like, Mankey, the pig monkey Pokemon. And the Pokedex is reading it out. I'm like, the pig monkey? I'm like, more like the 8 bacon Pokemon. And then right after that, me and David just went off on it, and we were naming our fucking Mankeys. So like every
That's actually
first gen
hilarious.
game, we just call it 8 bacon. I have probably like 1,000 8 bacons. In every game I have a Primate. It's named 8 bacon.
See, I like Primate, but like even with him, like as it was more this second generation. I'm using them when I'm going. Just for some reason, I'm like, I'm not doing good with these Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like,
Gen
these
2 is a
Pokemon
very
suck.
weak generation.
Especially for fighting types, I find that they really kind of...
Yeah.
So then I realized, okay, so then I got my Geodude. I love my Geodudes and my Gravelers and my Golems and that. I love all them, mainly Geodude.
Actually, my favorite Pokemon is in Gen 2. When I say it's a weak generation, I mean it just doesn't have... It didn't have a lot of strong, like... burst out Pokemon. Like Gen 1 had a lot of strong burst out
of
because it
course.
was the Gen 1. It was the original layout. And then Gen 2 was kind of weak. And then Gen 3 came back, it was good. Gen 4 came back, it was good.
I
it was okay.
prefer Gen 1 and 2 over anything else just because of, to me, anything Gen 3 or after, I find that when I discover... I did the meme the other day. Did you see the meme I did on Monday there?
I didn't understand it.
I literally, every time I look at a new Pokemon, I just go, Susan, what the fuck? Because I'm just
okay.
like, I
didn't
don't
see that meme then.
I just don't understand. Like, I'm just
Well,
like...
you know what you need to get to then?
Like
you
nose
need to
pass.
emulate Black and White because this is what Black and White did.
That's what I'm doing
Black
next.
and White re-revolutionized Pokemon. They went, hey, what can we do with Pokemon here? Okay, fully moving sprites. It was the first game with fully moving sprites. So Pokemon were finally alive, moving. It was amazing. I was like, that was before 3D. They were doing the 3D
It was really
polygons right now.
cool, yeah.
So everything was moving. The storyline was amazing. I was like addicted to it. Like, and it just had this comforting feeling, this homey feeling. The characters were all in sync. You had like so many. You had 4 rivals in the game, 4 or 3 rivals, and it was so much fun. You could battle all these different rivals, and honestly, to me, the reason why it was just like it just had this like heart to it, like this amazing heart. Like they really were like, look at it, we can make Pokemon the most happy, friendly, kid-friendly game ever. And the upside to it was they didn't use a single Pokemon from a different generation through the whole game. You cannot catch a single Pokemon except for a Generation 5 Pokemon in that game.
Which is kind of cool.
And I didn't even notice that until I got to the end. And I was like, you know what? I haven't fucking seen a Pikachu.
Yeah, so I
haven't
noticed
seen a
that right
goddamn.
away.
I haven't seen a goddamn like freaking like
something
anything.
like a Zubat even.
Yeah, and so then Black and White 2 came out, and they said, okay, so Black and White, they were basically. I feel like it was their statement. They did another 150 Pokemon in Gen 5, and they said, hey guys, we're not done making new Pokemon. We can still make it. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, these aren't original ideas. We already have this Pokemon. We already have that kind of Pokemon. But to me, they're new. And they have different abilities. And I'm like, you could do this forever. You could create another Pokemon that
You totally could.
You could create another Pikachu-type Pokemon. And they do it every generation. They create a Pikachu-type Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like...
something to try and be the mascot of that generation. The mascot of that gen,
right? So they had it like with... They had in Gen 6 a great example that was like it pissed me off all the time was Dedenne. It was the dumbest name ever, but it's just a little fucking mouse. It's exactly Pikachu.
Yeah, like
and Gen 4 they have Pachirisu. It's a fucking squirrel. It's Pikachu.
So I've never even seen that before. I've never even seen these Pokemon or heard of them before.
Yeah, and in Gen 3 they had Plusle and Minun, I want to say. And it was because they had two of them because it was the introduction to double battles and they wanted people to, you know.
Which ones are those? I don't think I've come across them yet.
You'll come across them eventually once you get past the second gym.
Which I literally just got to the second gym.
So once you get past the second gym, you're going to go to Slateport City, and past Slateport, there's a little field of grass, and that's where you're going to start catching electric-type Pokemon, like Electrike and everything, and you'll run into them. They're not useful at all in battle, but they're called Plusle, and I don't know if it's Minun, but I'm thinking it's Minun because it's minus. So it's plus and minus, so Plusle and Minun, and Plusle's red and Minun's blue, and one of them has positive signs on their cheeks, and the other one's got the negative ones.
Okay.
So those were the mascots for there. And then the mascot, surprisingly, the mascot for Gen 2 was Meryl. And everybody was calling it Peekaboo when they first announced
Gen
I
remember Meryl. Like,
Meryl was introduced in the show during Generation 1. And that's kind of the other cool thing I want to mention about Pokemon is if you watch through the show... I know we're going on a Pokemon topic here, but...
Well, no, I wanted to talk about Pokemon because, that's... Yeah.
Is they always have, in the generation before it ends, they always introduce a new Pokemon from the next generation. Yeah. Always. And it's so random that they do it. It's the most random thing, but they always introduce a new Pokemon. So that's a cool fun fact for you.
It is. Well, then
Cazador's
it's funny because I this ending off my whole my favorite Pokemon thing. I realized that I always like my fighting types. And I always realized a Pokemon that I never really paid much attention to because I could never fully finish his evolution chain.
Okay.
And it pissed me off because I loved that Pokemon, but once I got to a certain level with him, he wouldn't evolve anymore. He wouldn't get any better. Because you had to trade him. Which was Machoke.
Yeah.
And Machop. I love Machop and Machoke and Machamp, but I could never get a Machamp. So now, Pokemon Crystal, once I realized I could trade...
So how does that work? Can you explain that? Because I don't understand how you're trading.
Yeah, so literally you do, I'll show you in this right now. So I'm going to bust this out real quick. I know you guys can't see this, but there's actually a couple videos on it. So if you guys want to do that, you can. It's really, really easy. All you do is there's a thing that says link local.
Oh, that's cool.
You click that, and then see how Emerald's showing up here?
Yeah.
So if I click another game, I can then click another one, and then it opens it up like it's on another Game Boy.
Okay.
And then you just go to where you normally would link up, like
for
at
the
Pokemon
trading
centers,
center, yeah.
And then you just have to switch back and forth to go through it.
Okay, cool.
And I literally went because I had 3 Pokemon I wanted. Mm-hmm. I love my Gengars. I love my my Golem, and then my Machamps. I could never have them.
What about your Palakazams?
I don't know who that is.
Alakazam?
Oh, Alakazam, yeah. I was going to say, there's a Palakazam. What the fuck's that?
Yeah, Alakazam's Palakazam's best friend.
I liked Alakazam and Abracadabra, whatever the fuck his name is.
Abracadabra. Alakazam.
But what pissed me off about them is I couldn't put up with the Abra bullshit. Because I always had such a hard time catching them, and then I caught a Drowsy.
Okay, so this is on the topic of Abra. This is gonna really appeal to people who fucking hate Abra teleporting away when you're trying to fucking catch it. A shiny one appeared to me once, randomly. I wasn't even hunting it. So for those of you who don't know, I've talked about it before. I'm a shiny hunter. When I get into shiny hunting, I'm a hardcore shiny hunter, but I haven't done it for a long time. This fucking Abra appears, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye. It sparkled, and I went, no. God, no. And I cried. because I knew I wasn't going to catch this fucking
yeah, you
thing.
know you're
because
not
it was
gonna
right
get
at the beginning of the game, so I didn't have any Ultra Balls, and all I had were Pokeballs, and I had maybe 2 Great Balls, and it was just past the first gym, and this was in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So you know that cave where you can catch Makuhitas on the other
I
island?
literally am there right now.
And you can catch like Aerons and Sableyes, or I don't know if you get Sableyes in that game, but Mawiles or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think you get Sableye. I haven't seen one.
So, yes, that's where it appeared. But I just saw it and I'm like, oh my God, that's a shiny thing. So I threw one Pokeball and I was like, if this doesn't fucking lock, it's gone forever. I'm never going to find it. And I'm not going to hunt for it again because it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
It is the worst fucking Pokemon. And of course it breaks free and it teleports away. And it was the first time a shiny Pokemon has ever gotten away from me. I've never lost a shiny Pokemon before. And I was so pissed off.
That sucks. For me, because I played the game when I was a kid, right? So like I had such a hard time getting Abra because I wanted Alakazam because I knew it was really good. It was like, oh, Alakazam's the best psychic type or whatever.
He's so good.
He is, but
between his speed and special attack, he can wipe the floor with anything.
He can.
I have one in my red, and I trained him up on the
yeah.
side. He wasn't one of my main team. And then I switched him out for somebody else and made him part of my main team. And he's like 10 levels below, and he can still kick the ass of anything 10 levels higher.
See, I ended up getting because then I ended up discovering Hypno. And I was like, okay, I always make sure he has one normal attack. And then I always give him Shadow Ball. And then whatever else the fuck I give him, Hypnosis and then Confusion or whatever.
Future Sight's the best psychic attack.
Yeah.
It's the best.
I discovered that as well. But what's interesting is after I beat Crystal, I made the decision because I had experience with Gen 1 and Gen 2, obviously. Like, I knew enough about Gen 2, but there's a few Pokemon I never discovered before, like Sky Armor. It's the bird that's made of steel. Sky Armor. Skarmory, that's it. Skarmory, I couldn't pronounce it.
Skarmory's awesome.
Now it's my favorite new flying type.
Yep.
Because it's an armored fucking
He's
bird.
actually,
I was like, yo.
He was actually, when Gen 5 was out, he was my lead on my team because my friend he majored Crobat. Shout outs to David again. For Crobat was like David's jam.
Yeah.
Like the fastest Pokemon. It was a hard hitter, and he was like a poison type kind of guy. So David was smart with that, where he was like, he would play the game where he would poison you, and then he would just let you bleed out with poison.
Yeah.
And that's how he would win. And so I was sick and tired of him winning, so I made Skarmory, and Skarmory was like basically Crobat's downfall. Like, all I did was I taught, and you know how, oh man, I don't know if I ever told David this, but like, I stayed up all night this one night because we were going to hang out the next day. I stayed up all night, and I went through so much trouble just to make the Skarmory. So I go into Gen 4, I catch a Skarmory, I bred it with a special move on it you can't get unless it's in Gen 4, Roost. You can't teach Skarmory Roost, I don't think. Or was it Roost? Or Rock Slide? I don't know. Whatever. I had to breed it in Gen 4 at the time, specifically.
Because I've never heard of that move.
This was, what Roost is Roost heals you.
Okay.
So it takes your turn, but you heal up. So
Okay.
I taught it that. I taught my Skarmory Rock Slide to completely decimate
a really
Crobat.
strong, yeah.
Destroy Crobat. And then I EV trained it in Gen 5. I transferred up to Gen 5. I EV trained it perfectly, which is making sure all the effort values, that's what EV stands for, go into a certain skill. So like special attack or defense or whatever. You put all that in, and then basically if you EV train it, that's where all of your stats are going to go, and that's where your Pokemon will become better, right? And strong, and that's how strong it is. So I EV trained it in the right EVs for it, and then I went up against you the next day. I was like dead tired, and I just remember I was like, I fought you with my fucking Skarmory, and I created him, and then you probably still have him on one of your games. We called him Maurice, and then I let you have
Maurice?
it. Yeah, Maurice, that was his name, because Maury.
Yeah.
And then and so I just called him Maurice. And I let David keep him after I beat him because I was like, I don't competitively battle, so David, you can have him, because he was sometimes go out and do competitive.
Because he was like this badass fucking bird.
Yeah. So here's my Skarmory.
He's a cool Pokemon. I was like, that's dope.
Yeah.
I really liked it, but it's interesting because like I have no experience with Gen 3. So what I decided to do, like I'm playing Emerald. Obviously, you can see I am right now.
Did you use cheat codes?
No.
Action replay.
I'm just
Game
playing
Shark.
it. No. I'm just literally playing it like vanilla, but. What I'm doing right now is I'm looking at my team, and I've got I'm trying to really embrace Gen 3, right? Because I don't have any experience with it. So I have my Ralts. And then I have a Meryl, who I know isn't Gen 3, but close enough. Poochyena. Talo. Combuskin. And then I have my Geodude. And then that dude who... What was his fucking name? The one who... the fighting one you got in the cave?
Makuhita?
Yeah, that was the one. What the fuck's his name again? You just said it. I forgot. Makahita. I just caught it like earlier this morning, and I'm hyped because I know it turns into that big sumo wrestling motherfucker.
So have I talked to you about badge questing before?
No.
Where you have to, like, before each gym, you have to get a shiny Pokemon before you can progress through the next gym?
Why would you do that? Why would anybody do that?
Because that's just a way for shiny hunters to, like, motivate themselves to hunt for shiny Pokemon.
Shiny, you're fucking Pokemon.
So that's
why would you do that? I don't.
So
whatever.
Basically, whatever. So I badge quested in on right now. I'm badge questing on one of my not Omega Alpha Sapphire cartridges I have, and so I'm past the third I'm past the third gym now. My team's pretty good. It's pretty solid. But one of the ones I wanted was a fighting type because I needed a fighting type to take down the third gym. You need a fighting type. If you basically...
Well, that's good because I'm going to have one.
Yeah, so if you don't pick up Makahito or you don't pick up a fighting type or you don't pick Combustion for your starter Pokemon, then you cannot beat the third gym. It's like literally like fighting Brock with Charmander in the first gen. So yeah, so I have a shiny Makahita or a shiny Hariyama now, so it's pretty cool because I wanted a cool shiny Pokemon. And also, when you badge quest, most of the people who started off badge questing, they get their shiny starter, so that's soft resetting for their shiny starter. And my shiny starter in that one was Trico, and that was my favorite moment when I
didn't know what the fuck that is. I'm picturing a tree.
Trico's the lizard.
Oh, the lizard. Okay, yeah.
You have to do the soft reset to get it right. I soft resetted probably about 4,000 times. It took me about
literally 4,000 times.
3 weeks to get it. Yeah.
Wow.
And your heart skips a beat.
Obsessed.
Your heart skips a beat. If you're a shiny hunter, you do it for like that little adrenaline rush you get when it pops up on screen. I don't know why it brings you so much joy. It's the most ridiculous.
Is it orgasmic?
It is. It's just like it pops up and you know it's a different color, and then it gives off a little sparkle, and you're just like,
and you
I just cazzed in my pants.
I just cazzed all over myself.
Oh my god. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that's. But yeah. So I'm really proud of you, TJ.
Thank you. I just
wait
decided
for you to,
Yeah. Well, I just decided, I was like, fuck, you love Pokemon so much. Brandon loves Pokemon so much. Hell, the heel Ryan Wood loves Pokemon so much. I was like, you know what? I need to start learning my fucking shit. So I'm getting into it. I'll be sure to talk to you guys more about it as time goes on because like, I'm just getting into Gen 3.
Finally, we have a game in common to talk about for once.
and
not just Ogre Battle 64, the worst game ever. No, just joking.
The game that you shit all over.
It just shit all over it last week.
I can't remember who it was. Real quick on that note, who was like, it sounded like you had so much to talk about. And then he just kept shitting all over you.
You know what? I'm going to give TJ next week. We're going to give TJ another chance to come back on the show, and he can talk about Ogre Battle if he wants to.
No, it's okay.
No, it's ruined. It's done. You came in here, you ruined it.
It's over. You come in here, you tell me to talk about the game I want, then you shit all over me. Get it?
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, Pokemon. That's cool. I'm excited to play more, and I'm excited to get more into it. But
good. I
think it is time for us right now to talk a little bit about the war.
The war is still on, ladies and gentlemen.
The war.
But I think it's time for this war to become more of a game of Would You Rather.
Yes, because
Marry, Fuck, Kill. You know what? That'd be a good one. We could try that.
That could be interesting. But for now, let's.
You're just
let's
like
take a step back. Let's take a step back. You know, because our friends over the No Geeks Allowed podcast.
Okay, so I'd like to propose something to our friends. We listened to it just actually before we recorded today, and very, very funny, guys. Hilarious.
Yeah,
I was
hilarious
laughing.
podcast.
I was laughing the whole time when you guys were talking about the Labo Part 2. That was great. I actually really enjoyed what you guys proposed to us. Mm-hmm. So what I would like to propose to you guys to start off is let's leave the shit we got into where you guys were in a pool of
talking about eating placentas and shit.
No. Let's leave
that in the past. No more power
and let's
bottoms.
start a new Would You Rather.
Yes.
And we won't stack it. We're just going to see how far we can take it.
We're going to keep it PG-13.
We're going to try PG because you know what? Yeah. I really like what you guys proposed.
You know, they're fucking kids listening to this show, right?
No, there's not.
Little fucking kids out there.
Fuck those kids.
Fuck those kids.
No, sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm not a pedophile. Shit.
No, literally don't fuck kids. That's wrong.
That's a bad idea. I retract that statement. Delete this, producer, who's now, I'm talking to him, he's co-host producer, right?
No, I'm going to make a name, but anyway.
Okay. You're like, well, okay, anyway, so let's start a new game. Mm-hmm. We'll continue this war.
It's gotten to a bit of a stalemate.
It was a stalemate. So you know what? Let's go back to normal. Let's revert to normal. Let's go back in time, and before we started that whole crazy shit where you were cutting my dick off and I sewed your asshole to another man's mouth,
some fucked up shit, man.
You guys are now back to normal. We're back to normal, but now here's the deal. So you guys proposed that would you rather play the Labo or whenever you are listening to any sort of multimedia,
so
whether
TV,
it's a TV, movie, video
music,
game, anything with audio is lagging 3 seconds behind. It's recorded visual.
which is the fucking worst. So let's say, guys, you're watching your new favorite movie let's say you're watching Infinity Wars for the first time, right?
Oh my God.
Right? And the audio is lagging 3 seconds behind everything.
So Iron Man's like this. You can't see it, but I'm doing the motion where he's got his repulsor up and he's about to shoot somebody. And then his mouth moves and he goes, bah, bah, and he's just moving his mouth. And then all of a sudden, 3 seconds later, the Hulk starts to transform. And then all of a sudden, you hear Tony Stark go, "You're going down, Thanos." And then like another 3 seconds later, you see Tony Stark hugging Spider-Man. And then all of a sudden, you hear, "Oh, Hulk!"
It's
and
just a fucking
completely
write-off.
terrible. Or let's say you're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine and the theme song kicks up. And you see it, and visually you can hear the voices talking. It's before they do the clue into the theme song, right?
It's just
before,
it's
and
just
you can hear them doing their opening skit for before they do the lead in, and it's just like So anyway, and then it starts. It's like, and then it goes but it's not got the music.
It's literally
and then,
the fucking worst.
Yeah, it's just so bad. You know what we're talking about. You've had it.
It is completely cringeworthy. So
you know what?
That's
a tough one.
Before we go on to big shout outs to them for coming up with that.
That's a good one. That one makes me cringe more than my dick getting cut off. Can you believe that, guys? You guys hit like a home run with that one.
And I'm the adult here, and I am even saying that, you know what, like that's
not
next
cool.
level shit.
As somebody whose life is basically TV and pop culture references, I can assure you that I would not like that. So, it's a tough one for me. TJ, would you like to come back into the ring now?
I feel like at this point, maybe I can. We'll say yes. We'll see what they think. If you guys would have me back in this war, I will rejoin the front
so
lines
let's
of
go
Casual
ahead.
Jones.
You can come back in.
I will say, like as much as I do,
if we ever decide
watching,
we'll call that Other War. We're gonna call that Other War.
That's part
the
two.
War
That was
of the
part one.
Dickless and the Human Centipede Urine Pool.
Yes, that was part one.
Okay, it was we'll come up with a better title for it.
Now we're part two.
This is the more cleaner version. This is what Dragon Ball Z should have been. This is like Dragon Ball Super. Let's call it that. Okay.
So this is now. So I feel like, because I'm not such a big movie and TV guy that much, aside from my Family Guy, but I could just watch it. I could watch it muted and I would still laugh. You know what I mean? Like I'd still get what's kind of going on. I know Family Guy so much at this point.
Oh yeah.
But I would say for me, fuck the Labo. I will definitely.
Yeah, but here's the other thing.
It.
All you have to do is listen to podcasts then. Because
Yep.
your audio,
it won't matter. I'm a podcast guy.
Behind,
Fuck it. I don't even care. I listen to podcasts while I play video games. So I don't even care. Boom. So I'm in still. Fuck the Labo. I'll go with
video
the
games that
lagging.
don't have anything like audio. Why
cares?
would you care?
It's fine.
The only thing that would suck about the audio would be if you were playing a story game.
Yeah.
And that's the only time.
No subtitles either. Forgot
but
to
you
mention
know
that.
what? Yeah.
No subtitles.
So wait, but if there's no subtitles, then how do you play Zelda?
You don't.
It's fucking stupid. You're stupid.
I think there's no subtitles unless there's no other option. Like if literally the game only has text. I don't know. That's what I think. But anyway,
I don't care if the audio's off, but you know it'd be great if the audio was off in Breath of the Wild. If you're just walking along and it's all peaceful and serene, you know how the music is.
All of a sudden you just get blown up,
and then you just see, kind of see a laser behind you, and it's like, and it's zoomed in on you, and then all of a sudden you hear, and then as it's about to fire, you hear like, dun 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 dun, and you're dead. You're gone. And then every time that you are in Super Mario Odyssey and you're jumping, you jump, and then you don't hear, you hear, wah, woohoo.
Fuck, that's so bad, man. That would be like, I would lose my shit.
That would just be hilarious. And then you're in Mario Kart and you do the race, and then you don't hear the like beep, 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 beep. So you're just
Everyone
sitting
goes
there.
and you're just sitting there like,
You're
wait,
oh
what?
shit,
Fuck.
and then the music's all behind the whole time you're on the track.
Oh my
and,
god, that'd
it'd
be so bad,
hilarious.
Dude. Oh my god.
Smash Bros would be great too. Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So as long as I can still listen to my music, I'd be fine.
Which you can.
I think I just turn off. If I wouldn't. I think I'd start making TV shows just podcasts. The visuals would be gone, and I'd just be listening to podcast TV shows. So I'd be
listen
listening
to the Hodder show and
No, I would never listen to the Hodder show. Not even.
I don't know
if I was
anyone
deaf.
who actually listens.
Not
to
even
the
if I
Hodder
was
show.
deaf would I listen to it. Does that make any sense to you?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't make
But
sense.
anyway, I think we can both agree that like we would probably still.
I don't know though.
But
Is it going to be bowing out if I say I don't want to do it, or would we just do
if
another?
you're saying you
can
don't
we
want
just
to do it, then
another
you're-
Would you rather next week?
Well, I mean, no. If you're saying right now you're
Fine,
out,
then fuck it. I'm not playing the Labo anyways. I don't see what the point is. Like I'm not giving up. You know, I would just.
you literally were gonna eat placentas for the rest of your life, and like
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
I can
like
still watch
the shit
television.
that you were doing.
I can still watch my parents' conception of me with audio that's not lagging.
that would be the worst. Porn would be the worst thing
With
ever.
the lagging,
That would be
yeah.
the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
That would be so bad. But anyway, I think that you're not bowing out though. You're going to keep going.
I can't bow out at this
I was going to say if you bow out,
we
then that
saw the
sucks.
Labo today at Walmart. TJ literally had to take a lighter out of my hand. Yeah. I was this close.
He was like, "I'll burn
that
the whole
Walmart
store down.
would have burned down. How dare you sell?
Burn it to the ground. I'll burn it all down. Fuck everyone in here. I'll kill all of you."
Trying to sell a video game made of cardboard. That's not a real thing.
So that was a really good one they came out with, but it is now, of course, time for our rebuttal.
It's now time for some... No, just
No, it's not time for shout yet. In a minute. God damn it, Cass.
Right, rebuttal.
You're getting too far ahead of us.
So we came up with a rebuttal.
Yes.
Well, I came up with it.
Yeah.
I was going to have
I tried.
TJ help
I helped.
me.
But...
TJ came up with one, and I was like, that's good. But how about instead of that...
How about instead of the shitty one you came up with, we use this one?
So when I'm not thinking of like terrible ways to make you guys suffer or play the Labo, I actually come up with good ideas. So would you rather play the Nintendo Labo or... anytime you go, any residence you have in your life, including your house, your apartment,
Car.
Wow, I didn't think
Your
about
car.
that. I don't think a car counts as a residence.
Yeah, it does.
Unless you sleep in it.
No, let's say anything that you own instead of just a residency. Anything you own.
That would suck.
Anything you own.
Okay, that's pretty far, but okay. So anything you own.
Okay, maybe that's too far.
No,
I don't know.
Okay, anything in your place of residence.
Okay.
Your car. Anytime you stay at a hotel room. Anytime you go anywhere private, including a public bathroom, you cannot have a door. Doors do not exist for you.
Doors do not exist in the world.
So you will have a person who is literally assigned to you for your whole life. They do get paid. We are paying them. Don't worry, because I know you guys had a little confusion there. You were wondering who's paying that guy to fuck you in the ass. Well, that was us. It was expensive.
And he was a beautiful man, by the way.
He was a beautiful man. He was so handsome. He was like Tom Selleck from the 1970s. So just,
fuck.
Oh, yeah. That mustache, man. And so you cannot have doors. We're playing it clean.
Yeah, no doors.
But your life now has no doors. And you're probably just like thinking, oh, whatever, I'll just go live in a tent. Nah,
man, no.
That tent doesn't have a fucking door either.
Mosquitoes all up in your shit. Raccoons all up in your shit.
You can buy a tent, but that guy's going to rip the door off your tent.
He'll just be standing there, fuck you, we'll rip the door off. He'll be nice about it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, hey, man, I got to take the door.
Yeah.
We'll pay him. He'll be nice to you. He'll be like, hey, boys, I got to take the door.
I don't care what kind of shelter you take. You can have nice shelter. No doors.
No fucking doors.
No doors, no alarms.
You might think, that's
okay,
not so
I can't
bad.
say no alarms. You guys can install alarms.
You can have alarms all you want. Just
because
no
I
doors.
want you guys to be safe.
Of course. No, we don't want them
or
to be hurt.
you can just live your life, play the Labo, just give up.
Yeah,
whatever.
let us know.
I mean, what's the big deal? Then you'd have doors.
Play
but
the
yeah,
Labo
just think
with no
about
doors.
this. Think about this.
Like
no privacy for the rest of your life with these doors. So basically,
you want to jerk it, you guys do it in
you got to do it in your room, and your
public.
kid runs in there. Daddy, what are you doing? Oh, get out of here, son. Daddy's just trying to kill a snake. There's a snake in your pants, Daddy?
Okay, let's just stop that line of thought.
See,
right
there you
now.
go. No, I'm just painting a picture here.
Yeah, okay.
Just imagine you wake up one morning, there's a fucking deer in your kitchen.
Well, that's what I thought that would be. Like, you just wake up one morning.
You go to a
walk
motel and a
downstairs,
prostitute just walks into your room.
just fucking some
That's
guy
it.
on your bed.
That is it.
It's
Homeless
like, why are
people,
you in my hotel room? Well, there was no door.
You go to the Walmart public bathroom, the door comes right off for you. They pull that door off.
You're in there taking a shit.
And
Guy
then
walks
some
in.
guy
How
walks
you doing,
hey,
buddy?
man, how's it going?
Pisses through your legs
Pisses
while
through
you're
your
taking a
legs.
shit. Come on, that's terrible.
So there you go. Just think about that. Let that sink in, guys. We know how to play dirty without playing dirty.
Man,
We are
pretty.
businessmen.
That's pretty fucked up. I don't know. I would probably just play the Labo.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Death to the Labo.
But with-
Hashtag death
yes.
to the Labo.
Fuck the Labo. Burn the Labo. But with that,
I
that
would
being
never
said,
fuck the Labo, TJ.
well, I would.
You'd have to be getting me really
no,
drunk.
like literally fuck the Labo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like whatever. Anyway.
Okay.
You can't have sex with cardboard. I tried. Anyway, enough about my childhood. I believe it's now time for some shout-outs.
Shoutouts initiating.
I always wait because I'm like, maybe Kaz has some shout-outs to give, and every single time I'm always disappointed when I'm dancing, so it doesn't matter. So of course we want to give a shout-out to our good friends at the Drinks with Larry podcast. Always a great podcast. Always have a great time listening to them. We appreciate all the support, guys. Of course, want to give a shout out to our buddy Josh, Still Learning Podcast. I actually had a great chat with Josh the other day. The hell did I just say? Aha, I do podcasts sometimes. I had a great chat with him the other night.
When TJ was younger, he had a stutter. Don't make fun of him.
Yeah, leave me alone. And it was great catching up with him. He's got some great content coming up. His 40 for 40 series is coming up to a close, and he's gonna have a pretty cool guest on his last 40 for 40 show as well. So I'm really excited about that. To see, because the guy's really cool. And
I'm glad
he's a
somebody's
stud.
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
a fucking
disappointed
stud,
in my
dude.
life right now.
Anyway,
What?
what? I didn't say anything. Anyway, we of course want to give a shout out to the No Geeks Allowed podcast again. Thank you, gentlemen, for the support. We of course want to give a shout out to all of our Podbeard Network friends and cohorts. Of course, we have that Hodder Show guy that was kind of a dick. I want to give a shout out to Mikes and Beers and my good friend the heel Ryan Wood for being a handsome motherfucker who also is very entertaining. And I want to give a shout, of course, on the Lazy Show, I guess. Dark Runner, who has
Boy and
started
Stick.
up. Boy and Stick. Still the best thing ever.
Best thing ever.
Our boy Prog Rocker. And everyone else who supports us, we seriously appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you would like to support the show, be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a like or rating.
If you don't
We
want
always
to, that's
appreciate it.
okay
Yeah,
too.
that's okay too. You know, just hit the play button, doesn't matter. If you want to give us a follow on social media, you can do so. We have the Facebook and Instagram under
Facebook's
Two
for
Guys
old
in a
people.
Game. It is for old people, but we are on there. And if you are an old person like me, you still can like and follow us. And of course, we are also on the Twitter, which is
Twitter's
Two Guys
for old people.
Double A Game.
You're just
Stop
gonna punch
fucking
me.
interrupting me. God damn it, kid.
I'm just making fun of what you were telling
I
me
know.
earlier.
Someone told me I'm old, but anyway, I'm having a really hard time with it.
You're not old.
Two Guys,
just well-aged.
Two Guys, Double A Game on Twitter.
Like the battery, double A.
Yes, like the battery. And then, of course, you can also reach us anytime on the web at podbeannetwork.com/Two Guys in a Game. And, of course, by email, Two Guys in a Game podcast at gmail.com. You can also follow Casdo Jones on Twitter. Under
Which is
The
for old
Tangent King.
people.
Twitter is for old people, but we are on there. So if you're an old people like us, you can follow us. I will continue to say that until I get blue in the face. You can follow him. The Tangent King, I believe, is the is it Tangent King? Casdo motherfucking Jones. Also follow me, TJ_Hodder, if you so choose. And you can follow the heel Ryan Wood, the heel RW. And I think with that, we are out of here. He's been Kaz.
Yes.
Yes, I have. I have been Kaz.
I
And he
Kaz'd
is
all over
awesome.
this podcast.
And he is awesome, and he's very attractive, and you should probably give him a call, ladies, because he's he's single. Ready to
don't.
mingle.
You know what? Whatever.
But if you
Tinder's
play
a
the
thing.
level, then
find,
fuck you.
Find me on Tinder.
Find Kaz.
If you find me on
Kaz
Tinder,
motherfucking Jones
if you
on
find me
Tinder.
on Tinder, you've gone.
Which
too,
means something
you've gone
different.
too far.
Which means something different on Tinder, by the way.
what?
Casdo motherfucking Jones means something different on Tinder.
Oh yes, yes it does.
All right, everybody. I've been Hodder,
I've been Kaz.
and we'll catch you next time on Two Guys in a Game.
Episode 40.
Bye, everybody.
Last word.